If you're a fan of Full Metal Alchemist, or if you want to know how to get your fan art featured next week, stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today is episode number 3 of March Fandom Mayhem, a fan art series Weblight Dreams and I are doing every Thursday this month. Be sure to check out her video after this one if you haven't seen it yet. I'll be sure to link her in the end card, in the description, and in the pinned comment. This has been so much fun, and we're really looking forward to doing this one more time next week. If you have any requests for us to draw next week, leave it in the comments down below. And if you'd like one of us to feature any fan art you've drawn, at the hashtag MarchFandomMayhem, all one word, to your fan art posts on Instagram or Twitter. Old fan art, new fan art, any fandom, it's all fair game. You don't even have to repost, just add the hashtag and we'll find it. Today I'm working on a fan art piece from Full Metal Alchemist, and these are the main characters of the show, brothers Edward and Alphonse. I did the line art digitally, as I've been doing a lot lately, and honestly, I think I made it a little too detailed. I emailed the file to myself so I could trace it over onto marker paper using my iPad, but I couldn't tell all the little lines apart from one another through even an actual sheet of tracing paper on the iPad screen, so I had to actually print it out so I could trace it bigger using a light pad. I considered printing it directly onto better paper, but my printer doesn't always like to print the cleanest lines, and I like having the option to do vastly different things with my line weight after I'm done rendering, so this is what we've got. There are actually 2 different anime series for Full Metal Alchemist, both of which are based on the manga series that started in 2001. The first anime series, Full Metal Alchemist, was created between 2003 and 2004, and although it starts out true to the source material, it does deviate from the original plot and come to a completely different ending. A second anime series, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, was created in 2009, and it follows the original manga series chapter by chapter all the way through. So both anime series align with the manga volumes 1 through 7, but then mid-series Full Metal Alchemist 2003 takes on its own unique plotline, and Brotherhood continues to follow the books. I was in grade 9 in 2003 when the first Full Metal Alchemist anime series came out, and I was just starting to make friends with fellow nerds at the time. My friend Jeff, the guy I accidentally drew as a merman last May during Mermay, he owned a complete series on DVD, so we watched it a lot. I didn't read manga back then, so I had no idea that it deviated from its source material at the time. Brothers Edward and Alphonse Elric, often called simply Ed and Al, are alchemy students who want to resurrect their mother, but that's a dangerous and taboo process, and when they attempted it, it goes horribly wrong. Al is completely destroyed, and Ed loses a leg. In order to bring Al's soul back, Ed sacrifices an arm in exchange for his brother's soul, and binds Al's soul to a suit of armor. This is why for most of the series you're watching a teenage boy with mech prosthetics being chased around by a walking suit of armor with a child's voice. For most of the series, they're just trying to restore their own bodies. The series has a whole lot of brother dies, other brother sacrifices himself to save him, rinse and repeat, brothers stranded in our world, brothers back in their own world, one's dead, oh wait, never mind. That kind of thing. In the 2003 anime, the main antagonist is a human woman named Dante, holder of the last remaining Philosopher's Stone, which the brothers need to restore their bodies. All Dante wants to do is continue to use the stone to live forever by jumping from body to body, and as such, she's not inclined to share the stone. In the manga and in Brotherhood, the main antagonist is an entity known as Father, a powerful being who can perform transmutation, the magic done with the Philosopher's Stone, at will. He's power-hungry, and he has absolutely no regard for the destruction and massive loss of life he causes in his quest to increase his power and become a god. All versions of the story feature creatures called homunculus. In the 2003 anime, these are created when human transmutation fails, and the only way to destroy them is to destroy the original human body. In the manga and in Brotherhood, 7 homunculi are created by the entity called Father, representing the 7 deadly sins, and each is powered by its own Philosopher's Stone. In order to destroy these homunculi, you have to either destroy the stone powering it, or drain the stone by forcing the homunculus to regenerate many times. A human character named Hohenheim exists in all versions, and he happens to be the main character's deadbeat absent father, and it's his library of alchemy books that he left behind that the brothers learned their skills from. In the 2003 anime, Hohenheim used to be Dante's lover and co-creator of her Philosopher's Stone. He plays a very small active role in the story and is eventually trapped beyond the gate after confronting Dante and failing. In the manga and in Brotherhood, Hohenheim is a Philosopher's Stone, granted this power and near immortality by Father. He faces off against Father and eventually dies when he exhausts his stone. The gate I just mentioned is the source of all alchemy. In the manga and in Brotherhood, it's guarded by a being known as Truth, who takes the tolls paid by alchemists performing human transmutation. All alchemists have their own version of the gate, which is what allows them to perform alchemy. If they sacrifice their gate to Truth, they will no longer be able to perform alchemy. In the 2003 anime, the gate is also a porthole between the alchemist's world and our own, and it's powered by the souls of the dead. This is the biggest change the 2003 anime made, and the writers of that series chose to allow characters to be transported through the gate between worlds, sometimes being stuck on one side or the other. The main reason why the 2003 anime is so different is because the entire story, 51 episodes, were written and produced by 2004, but the manga wasn't finished until 2010. When Brotherhood went into production, most of the manga series had already been published, and by the time all 64 episodes of Brotherhood were finished, so was the manga. The 2003 anime has two different endings depending on whether you consider the 51st episode to be the end, or the subsequent feature-length film Conqueror of Shambhala to be the end. As the anime series ends, Al has been restored to his 10-year-old human body with no memory of the approximately 4 years that has passed during the series, and Ed is stuck on Earth in London, prosthetics still required. In the movie, Al regains his memories and goes after his brother. Earth as a setting is during Hitler's reign, and the brothers end up in Munich. They stay in the human world because in order to seal the gate and prevent more traveling between worlds, it needs to be sealed on both sides. And Ed sacrifices his life in their world in order to live on Earth so that he can be the one to seal it from Earth's side. Al is supposed to be the one to seal it on their side, but he gets another alchemist to do it and comes through to live on Earth with Ed. In the manga and in Brotherhood, obviously that's not how the plot concludes, because the gate isn't a literal portal. In these versions, the main goal is to defeat Father. Al sacrifices himself in order to restore Ed's body, giving him back his missing arm, but still not his leg. Ed defeats Father, then surrenders his gate in exchange for Al. As we've already mentioned, surrendering his gate means Ed can't ever do alchemy again. In terms of animation style, the Brotherhood reboot of the series has a lot more background animation, so it feels less like a bunch of talking heads, but both are gorgeously done. Since the 2003 anime is what I experienced first, that's usually how I think it's supposed to go, even though I know it isn't. The 2003 series is a little faster paced, and it manages to introduce something new in every single episode. Brotherhood is a little slower, but since it's truer to the source material and has a lot more emotion on the screen, some purists think it's the better option to watch first if you're new to anime or to the Full Metal Alchemist story. That said, Brotherhood seems to have been produced as a revisit to the world and story, and assumes that you've already seen the 2003 series or already read the manga, because the first episode throws way too many characters and plot points at you if you're unfamiliar with the franchise. If you're familiar with Full Metal Alchemist, I want to know which version of the story you experienced first, and which do you prefer? Which subplot or side character that I didn't mention is your favorite? If you've never heard of Full Metal Alchemist before, did this make you interested at all? Let me know in the comments down below. The artists I've been featuring up until now are at Xander Levine on Twitter, Ramona Levine on YouTube, at Aurora's Art World on Instagram, Aurora's Art World here on YouTube, and at Art by Serge on Instagram. If you'd like to see your art featured in my video or Weblight Dreams' video next week, slap the hashtag MarchFandomMayhem on your fan art posts on Instagram or Twitter so we can find them. If you haven't checked out Weblight Dreams' video yet, go check her out now. If you have, and you're wondering what to watch next, I've put some suggestions on the left of your screen now. Tomorrow is our monthly Art Addicts Lines upload, so I'll see you then. Bye guys!